Hi, BiFFs.
Hey, Beth.
Dear Abby.
Dear Kiki.
Captain.
Red flag.
Cheers to you.
Desperate housewife.
Pinot Grigio.
Doesn't want to marry you.
Power.
Love you like I
Pour
love
more
you.
wine.
Drinking. Don't talk to yourself.
Cheers, Biff.
Cheers.
Ill-advised.
Ill-advised. This is Ill-advised.
Hi, BiFFs.
Hello.
And welcome.
Welcome to Ill-advised.
The podcast where two best friends tell you what to do when someone else already has.
Even when we don't know what we're doing.
Because we're in therapy, so we can find out what we're doing.
Speak for yourself.
Right.
Speaking of therapy.
Right. It was like when our intro used to include like two therapized best friends. Now it's like one therapized best friend and the other one was reading about therapizing people.
While also needing therapy.
It's okay. We all have our moments, or we all have our, like, what am I just trying to defend you?
Yeah, you are.
Okay,
and I
I'm
love
sorry.
you for it.
All right. Well, you're welcome.
Thanks.
How you doing, Biff?
Today was a doozy.
Yeah. Happy daylight savings.
Yep.
Fuck myself.
Fuck myself. Since 7 o'clock this morning.
Right. 8 o'clock.
When I thought it was 8 o'clock. I mean, when
you thought it was
said that
7.
backwards.
Right.
Yeah. So my brain is not caught up yet. My brain is still an hour behind.
Okay. So you're still making breakfast or something? Oh, well, actually, it's 1 o'clock in your brain. So
Brunch.
Brunch.
Yeah.
Excellent.
With a mimosa.
Oh, yum.
I know.
I want a Bloody Mary.
Now my stomach's going to literally growl.
We're going to need to end this podcast right now.
How you doing?
I'm all right. I had a rough start this morning too. I woke up at 7. The clock said 7, the real clock.
Ugh.
So it worked. And then I was like,
So you
no.
woke up at 6.
Technically, yeah. So I was like, no. And I closed my eyes, and then I woke up at 9, and I was like, sure. And
Good enough.
I went to go get up, but then I woke up at 10.
Oh, so jealous.
And I was like, this feels better. We've been going to bed late too since our little COVID quarantine over here. We experienced some COVID in the house, but like we've been staying up watching The White Lotus.
Oh, so good.
So good. We finished the first season.
Yeah.
We just started the second season last night, but I was falling asleep because we decided to be up until almost 1 a.m. watching it. So if anyone hasn't watched White Lotus yet,
so good.
So fucking good.
I feel like I didn't love the second season as much as the first, but it was still pretty good.
I wish you had lied to me so I could like be amped up.
I feel like it was just harder for me to like. Didn't keep my attention as well.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe just the beginning, because I did still like it.
Yeah, I really liked the end of the first season. Yeah. Don't want to do any. Actually, spoiler alert. Cover your ears. 3, 2, 1. Like the family has their happily ever after, and then the son decides he's going to stay and turns around at the airport. What else happened? And then Jennifer Coolidge went and did something
on a boat. Is that the first one where she thought she was going to get killed?
Oh,
on the boat.
No.
And then she like went ham. And they were like, what the fuck is this lady doing?
No, I can't wait to watch that now.
What?
That must be the second one.
No way.
Because she's the only character that came over from the first season.
Oh, because I was like, she's the only one. I guess I didn't think she was in the second season.
Oh, yeah. She's the only one that comes over. Because I thought it was all new and she was like married with that guy. The guy that she was with the first season.
Sorry,
You ruined something. I'm so excited.
But it wasn't, you'll see it coming. It's not like a surprise thing. Like you'll know.
So excited. Last night we were watching Jennifer Coolidge's character Tanya and her husband do it. And of course, you know me. I was like, she got her hot dog real bad. I couldn't help it.
I love her.
She's so great.
She is.
Oh, that's great. Wine?
Yeah.
No segue this week. No, not at all.
It's okay. It's just Voss water.
It's just Voss water. It's because of the bottle. I'm telling you.
It is a Voss bottle.
It's a Pinot Grigio from VOGA Italia. It doesn't have a year on it, I don't think. Oh, it's a 2021. It says white wine on it. Like you can't see through the bottle.
Oh.
So if you can't see through the bottle.
Because I thought it was a Voss water.
Oh, right.
So somebody like maybe my dad We'd be like, oh.
I got your water, honey.
Yeah.
It was $13.
Or he'll open it himself and start chugging it. Like, this is, well, how do you drink Voss water? Also, I'm drunk now.
So yeah, it's about $13, I think. They didn't put the tag on it. It's relatively inexpensive for the pretentious bottle that it has.
It is a cute bottle.
But it does look like it comes straight from Italy, but there's actually no description. So, VOGA water. Cheers.
Don't tilt it. You're gonna.
I forgot how full this fucking thing was.
God, you're like my toddler.
It's small glasses.
Big hands.
That ain't bad.
I love it. You hate Pinot.
I do. I was expecting this to be disgusting.
I really like that.
Because of this bottle.
You thought it was going to be gross because of the bottle?
Because the bottle's like, this is how we're selling it. It doesn't taste good.
Right.
Nicely done.
I love it.
Those bitches fooled us.
And you drank a Pinot a cheap Pinot at my house.
Yeah, I think maybe my taste is changing a little.
I liked it.
Or maybe that Pinot that you used to buy when we lived together was just fee and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because what was that?
I feel like it was like Woodbridge.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. You liked it, but I'd like to say I have standards, but this is like a $10 to $13 bottle of wine.
I like it.
So
I'll get it again.
Yeah. Every time, you don't even need to know what it's called because you just need to look for Voss water in the liquor aisle.
Right. Perfect. Actually.
This is not a plug for Voss water. I have questions this week. We're jumping around a little bit with columnists, but
same website.
Same website. So hang on to your diapies. You ready? This one is Ask Amy. Man's troubled history burdens ex-wife.
Who's wearing diapies? Wait. Hang on to your diapies?
Hang on to your diapies. I didn't even realize I said that. I channeled I channeled the Rugrats.
That's even better.
I don't know.
You said it.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Our ritual shot has kicked in. I'm so warm right now.
I can feel my toes again.
Can you? Excellent. Yeah, I was channeling an episode of the Rugrats that I didn't know I was thinking about.
Yeah. Well,
so
if you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, hang on to your diapies. We got advice for you. Ask Amy, man's troubled history burdens wife.
You might have to say the website again because I interrupted you.
I don't know that I did.
I interrupted you in the middle of saying it. Yeah.
Great. See, I didn't even know that. NJ.com. True Jersey.
I love Jersey.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Jersey boys.
Yeah. How many do you have?
None. I just want one.
Okay. Let's just jump into this one from March of 2023.
Yeah.
Dear Amy, after many years of marriage and 2 children, my now ex-husband revealed that a few years before he and I met, when he was about 30 years old, he had a consensual sexual relationship with his 15-year-old non-biological niece, his ex-wife's niece.
Can you consent?
Everyone in their family found out about it and was upset, but nothing happened. I was devastated by this information and other serious problems in our marriage, and we divorced. We've been divorced for 7 years. Our children are 15 and 17. My ex and I still live in our hometown and share custody of our children. I haven't told our kids or my family about this event. I'm living in fear that my kids will find out one day and that they will resent me. Holding on to the secret has cost me a price personally. On occasion, I look like the bad guy in our divorce, which is unfair to me. I think my ex can still be charged for this crime, and although this is unlikely, it has impacted our lives in other ways. Should I just live with this and hope for the best? Sick of secrets.
So did it say when she found out?
She had said after many years of marriage.
Oh, so she wasn't privy to it.
No. When he was 30, he was having an affair with a 15-year-old, or a relationship, consensual sexual relationship.
Okay, so I don't know about Jersey, but 15 years old is not the age of consent.
No.
First of all.
No.
Second of all, she did mention that he can still get in trouble for this. So therefore, that leads me to believe that even in New Jersey, 15 is not the age of consent.
No. And we know that in Massachusetts, at least we knew that in Massachusetts, you can consent to someone under the age of 18 if you're under the age of 18. So don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it was. I don't want to spread misinformation.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
beyond that,
Right.
it's
You can't
statutory.
Well, even 18. If you're 23 with an 18-year-old, I don't think that's...
Oh, no, I don't think that matters. I think it's up to the age of 18. So, yeah. So 16, 17, you can consent.
If you're 16, 17.
To 16, 17, right?
Until 18, then you're an adult.
Right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Biff. You look so comfortable.
I just want to kudos her for leaving him.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just that. It was other issues in their marriage.
Yeah, but this clearly was part of those issues.
Right. We've been divorced for 7 years.
And their children are now the age of...
But he's also not 30 years old anymore. I wish I knew their ages.
I know. Well, I mean, she said after a couple of years.
After many years.
Oh, many years.
Yeah.
So we'll guess he's in his 40s, 50s, late 40s.
Yeah, why
50s.
not? You can't have a consensual sexual relationship with a minor. It doesn't work.
No, it's not consensual.
It's not consensual.
They can't. They literally cannot.
They literally could be like, you manipulated a 15-year-old.
Legally, like in any way, shape, or form.
This isn't 1900.
Right.
Where you like married off
As soon as
because your family needed money.
Right.
So about
and
telling
at
the
30
kids.
years old, this isn't also one of those things that like she's 15 and he's 18. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which is still, I mean, that's easier to argue for me because men mature slower emotionally than women. So I feel like an 18-year-old and like a 15, 16, 17-year-old girl are often on similar maturity levels.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think like 18 and 15 isn't horrific if you think in that sense. Like he's pretty much a 15-year-old.
Right. The argument there, yeah, it gets a little bit more, the lines get a little bit more blurred.
But a 30-year-old with a 15-year-old, that is just never okay.
Yeah, let's not get it twisted, reader. We're not condoning 15 and 18.
No.
As per laws.
No.
Or listener, not reader.
It's still creepy gross. And if my 15-year-old daughter ever brought home an 18-year-old man, I'm going to beat him up myself.
Beat the fuck out of him. Actually, when I was 15, I was hanging out with somebody who was 18. And though this was, back in the day when
you were 15.
When I was 15 and sweeping things under the rug, like my sexuality.
Oh, right.
So I was hanging out with this girl and we were just friends. And my mom was going out or something. So she brought us to my aunt's for the evening. Like it was going to be an overnight type of thing. But like I was going to hang out with my friend and she's like, no, she's 18 and she drives a car. You're 15. We just moved here. Like it's not happening.
So it's definitely concerning.
Yeah, absolutely. So the question here is about, it's not necessarily a question so much as it's implied. Should she just live with this and hope for the best in relation to sharing this with her kids?
And her kids are 15 and
17. What do you think about sharing daddy's faux pas?
They're like at the age now that you can like have honest conversations with them, especially if they're asking like, why did you guys divorce? Like, but I don't know if I could tell my 15-year-old daughter or
your dad
son,
slept with somebody your age.
Right. Like, oh, well, other than us not communicating or us not getting along, or he also.
Right.
I think that's something my ex needs to share with our children.
I was going to say the same thing. Either you tell them if they start asking around.
Yeah.
Like they're not asking questions from what I'm getting, but if they start asking, then it's just like, you need to tell them or I have to.
Or I have to. They're getting older. They're not children, little young kids anymore where we can just say, we just couldn't get along. We can't get along. Like they're at the age where it's like, okay, why? Why can't you get along?
Right. And she's saying like holding onto the secret has cost me a price personally. On occasion, I look like the bad guy in our divorce, which is unfair to me. That's unfair, but I think you kind of need to trust your kids to grow up and actually like realize what you've done to either preserve their childhood or whatever. You can't just say this because you're tired of being the bad guy. That's selfish. Like
I agree, but they're also at the age where it's like you kind of can be more open and honest with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think how or when?
Right. Well, that's what I mean. If they're asking or like, Mom, you're such a, like, why are you leaving my dad? I can't believe you're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Then I don't feel like that's selfish.
But after 7 years and they still haven't asked. So that's the scenario we're being posed with.
Well,
now.
maybe they haven't asked, but what is making her look like the bad guy?
She's not specifying. She's
That's
just saying
what I
on
mean.
occasion I look like the bad guy, but she's saying that holding on to this secret has cost me a price personally, which makes me believe that she's
not
looking like the
sharing.
bad guy by not sharing this, she's looking like an asshole.
Right, which I'm assuming is probably in relation to the children being like, why are you leaving Dad?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Oh, because I was thinking about it like, she looks like an asshole for putting up these rules or whatever. And Dad lets us do this. Well, Dad also slept with a 15-year-old when he was 30.
I got that she's looking like the asshole because she's keeping her mouth shut when her kids are going like...
Yeah. Yours is more practical.
I will take that.
Yours is way more practical. Do you see, I overthink in my daily thoughts. So why not apply that to an advice column?
Yeah.
I'm going to read this back to you with my eyes closed and insert anything I feel that I got from this fucking shit.
Well, I mean, oftentimes it works. You've come out of left field and I'm like, Biff, what are you talking about? And then I read the response and I'm like, oh, you're just
that's just me getting lucky.
You're an advice columnist. Clearly.
No.
I'm just a therapist. You're an advice columnist.
I need the credentials for these assholes so I can fucking go against them. I only have a business degree, that's all.
Well, it's working.
Thank you. That's great. So
let's read the answer.
You want to? I mean,
curious.
What do you think? Let's give our answer before we go further into it. I don't think she just needs to say
if the kids are asking, then I think at this age, I think they deserve the truth.
Okay. Would you then say, like, they're asking, you need to tell them or I will, or would you just tell them?
I'm assuming if the kids are asking, maybe Dad, and this is speculation, maybe Dad is not being honest, obviously.
Like, don't worry about it, kids.
Like, oh, we're just going through things or whatever it is.
We didn't get along.
Yeah. We just can't make it work. Then as a mother, I feel like I tried everything possible, right? Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it just didn't work. And if that's not good enough for my kids, then I feel like we owe them honesty at these ages.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, they're becoming young adults, and like, especially if I'm taking the brunt of this divorce, like that sucks, especially as a mother. Yep. Especially because as a mother, I have done and am doing everything I possibly can to preserve my family, my children, my relationship, all of it. So I think from a mother's perspective, if that feels like it's time, I just need to tell them, then you tell them.
I think you articulated very well. I can't argue against that. I think my approach would be like, dude, clock's ticking. They need to know. So you tell them or I will.
I do like that. I do like...
You have the chance to come clean and justify any way you like. I'm sick and tired of covering for you.
Right. I'm the asshole because you're the one who banged a 15-year-old.
Right. Yep.
I do also like that. Like, tell them or I have to.
Because either way, you run the risk of your kid like being pissed at you for like, I didn't need to know that.
Well, then don't ask.
Well, you fucking ask. I'm fucking 15. I ask questions.
True, yeah.
Watch, they probably have the most self-aware kids ever.
Probably.
You want to get to the response?
I do. I'm curious.
Okay. Dear Sick of Secrets. First of all, no sexual relationship with a 15-year-old can be considered consensual because, and in parentheses it says, with a few exceptions depending on the state where this occurred, 15-year-olds are too young to consent. The age differential between a 30-year-old and a 15-year-old makes this lack of consent more obvious. This is not like two teenagers having a consensual relationship. If you have any valid reason to suspect, believe, or worry that this behavior might continue or resurface, then you should notify your children. But you don't mention having this concern. You have every right to loathe your ex for sexual misconduct or for any other reason. You don't have the right to use your knowledge of his crime to retaliate against your ex-husband now. And so you have to question your own motivation. Based on the way you framed this, you seem worried that your kids might have too high an opinion of their father, when you believe that he doesn't deserve it. In fact, he might not deserve it, but he is their father. Familial love is not balanced. Children do not love undeserving parents. Children do love undeserving parents. If your ex-husband lies to your children about you or unfairly casts you as the bad guy, you should immediately correct the record. Otherwise, this is not your secret, it's his. If the victim ever chooses to come forward, he will be forced to face this. You worry that if you don't tell your children, they will resent you. I believe it's more likely that they'll resent you if you do tell them, because you would be transferring the burden of this knowledge from yourself onto them. So
that was a really good point.
So that's what I was kind of thinking, like, why did you tell me? You know what I mean? And having the self-aware children. Right. Like, I can't believe you told me this. The other thing that I had thought about too was like, and I wish I had articulated it this way because it's much better. The part where why are you telling them? Are you telling them just to set the record straight? You did say that. You know what I mean? Or are you telling them just because you don't want to be?
I did gather that from what you were saying.
So,
like, if you're just trying to be petty, or like your dad's an asshole,
like you're sick and tired of being the bad parent. Right. I don't hate this response.
I didn't hate it. I just feel like I don't remember specifically which part, but there was a part that I didn't love.
Like, this is not your secret, that part, because I did not love that, because it kind of is.
Well, that part I felt like coincided with what you said. Coincided?
I don't know. Where are you going with
coincided? Is coincided a word?
Yes.
Okay. Coincided.
You sound like me, Beth.
With what you said when you said that, like, you tell them or I'm going to. You know what I mean? So that was what I got from, like, this isn't your secret. Mm-hmm. Like, he needs to, like, that's on him.
Right.
But I wish I could, I think it was closer to the beginning of the answer that I didn't love. Like, just completely not telling your children at all. That just, I don't know, that feels wrong to me. But I also do agree with, like, it's not their burden to carry. So I'm a little bit torn.
So I guess the outstanding question is, where's the line here between protecting your children from the truth and knowing that they're mature enough to handle the truth?
Handle honesty, yeah.
That's the other thing. We don't know if these are 15 and 17-year-old girls, boy, one of each, gender fluid, whatever. The biological maturity there is what matters. Mm-hmm. What can they handle? And are you actually protecting them from their dad? And not to say that this is what the question is, you know what I mean? We're not saying that he's going to prey on his own children. I would hate to imply that.
Right, no, yeah.
What I'm really saying is, like, they're going to have feelings from this. They're going to take away certain feelings of, feelings and information from this, and they're going to apply it to whatever their mind,
right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Based on their own maturity. So that application really depends on your delivery and your intent too.
And also because, like, divorce is pretty traumatic for kids. So I feel like if you're not honest and open and clear on, like, why we're divorcing, that just leaves room for interpretation for these kids. Room for them to make up in their 15, 16, 17-year-old brains why mommy and daddy are divorcing. And I know as younger children, we internalize things and we blame ourselves. It's our fault. We weren't good. I don't know if there's, like, a specific age that kind of stops. But I think it just, my parents divorced when I was, I believe, like 15, 16.
My parents pretended to be divorced because they pretended they were married. So that's what foreign parents do. Go on.
No, at 15, 16, my parents divorced. And I think for us, it was like we had more of an understanding going into them divorcing, why they were divorcing, because it was pretty obvious throughout our whole life.
Your entire lives, yeah.
But I also think that it was, like, especially for me now as an adult and a mother, I guess I am able to look back and see where I could have been, like, is there things they could have done to try to make it work? You know what I mean?
Right.
Could they have continued to, like, fight or, like, no, we're going to do this together for our kids, for our family? So I think if we knew that something like this, like, there's kind of no going back from that.
Right.
I feel like that would have been a little bit more helpful for us just to kind of sort through our feelings. And
it seems like they were at that age because they were 8 and 10 when they divorced. So they were at that age where they were either in a position where they would blame themselves, or they blame their parents for not working hard enough. Like, you don't care about us to save your marriage, you know?
Yeah.
in such plain terms.
Right. No, yeah. I
You know,
agree.
but this one's like, it's heavy and it's not heavy. It's mostly heavy. The scales are tipped.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I
Like,
do.
it's almost one of those
We
things
could go
like,
on forever.
if we had read this ahead of time, we'd probably be like, I'm not touching this. Alas, we have a podcast and content that we need to fill. So,
Right.
to that end, I suggest we go on to our next one.
Yes.
Okay. Another Amy from March 8th, 2023. I'm disgusted that my 62-year-old brother is in a relationship with a 26-year-old. What the fuck?
What is it with you
Yeah.
males?
Yeah,
I can't even say men because, ew.
I see what you're saying. Well, they're consenting of consenting age. Do you think this should apply in tiers through adulthood?
There's just so much to it.
There is. Are we ready to look at this?
Ready as we're gonna be.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Dear Amy, my 62-year-old brother has just announced that he has been in a long-term relationship with a 26-year-old woman. Oh, this is about to get more fucked up.
Oh, God.
His adult children ages... Don't drink.
I'm drinking.
Don't drink. Oh, shit. Ages 29, 32, and 36. Yeah. Told you not to drink. But luckily, you didn't do a spit take.
Yeah.
I'm just going to backtrack a second here. His adult children, ages 29, 32, 36, have known about her for over 2 years. 2 fucking years? Have been in family therapy and are still not accepting this woman in their lives.
Okay.
My brother has been divorced for years and has a history of dating very young women. While I'm fairly disgusted, ultimately it is not my choice, as I will not be spending the time with him or them. My parents, now in their 80s, do not know what to do. They feel the age difference is wrong and are suspicious of the young woman's motives. My brother recently showed up at their house and left her sitting in the car while he visited our parents. When my mother discovered this, she went out and gave her a hug because she felt sorry for her. We're all at a loss of how to handle this situation. Should we accept her and pretend it's not creepy? Or should we continue to refuse to accept her into the family? No fun, dysfunctional family.
That's such a good question for this subject.
Yeah. So we're not
Because
asking...
it isn't like, what should I do about my freaking creepy ass brother?
Right.
But it's like, how do we as like normal humans kind of...
Or normal.
Yeah.
I mean, the reaction's normal, I feel.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I really liked this question for this topic because it's like, it is what it is, but how do we kind of manage this or maneuver through it?
So I had a couple of immediate thoughts. The couple of things that I've been thinking about is you're feeling the way that you're feeling as the sister in the family, right? You're feeling the way that you're feeling about your brother being with a 26-year-old. So by not accepting her into the family, who are you punishing? Are you punishing your brother or are you punishing the 26-year-old? And that 26-year-old, though also having had made a choice to be with someone older than her, and we don't know what the factors in here because I wish that they're like,
he's loaded.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't know what the factors
she did
are.
mention that the parents are questioning her motives, which kind of led me to believe.
Well, and then there was like...
If you're questioning motives, it's because you have motives that you can question.
Right.
You know
It
what I
could be
mean?
that. It could be a really good life insurance policy.
Money.
Right.
In some way,
In
shape,
some
or form.
form. But let's take that out of here because we don't know that, right?
I agree and I don't agree.
Right.
Because they specified my parents are questioning
Her motives. Yeah, we don't
so
know.
that means that there's things there.
There's
that
something.
Can,
We don't know if it's money, but there's something.
right. A big, beautiful home. Something.
Yep.
Something that
Yeah.
she can gain.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Or maybe she thinks she can gain something. He's
his
just
old
successful, but owes so much money.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's still the point where it's, should we refuse to accept her into the family or should we
Keep them at distance, or should we embrace her?
don't punish her?
Maybe.
That's my thought.
I know. I agree. Half of me agrees. and
Punish
half of
him
me
another way. First of all, if you need to punish, let's say there's no
a
motive.
fine line in like being kind to someone and accepting things.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I don't have to agree. I don't have to accept this, but I can be just kind. I can.
Can you accept that it's happening but not agree with it? Like, I don't think that you could have a clear mind of this person coming to family functions if you didn't accept that this is who your brother is.
Well, that was one of the examples I was going to use. It's like, where's that line? Where like, if I see them, I will be kind and greet her and how are you? And
or
but am I
don't want to see her.
Right. But does that mean if I go to Thanksgiving knowing that she's there, does that mean that like I'm just, yeah, sure, it's fine? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where's that line between being kind and kind of like, I'm against this and I don't agree with this. I still love you. I still support you. I will still be kind if I see her. But does that mean I'm not going to Thanksgiving anymore if she's there?
Well, that's up to that person, right? If they're letting their brother's decisions dictate their own.
Yeah, but I'm going off of your question.
No,
don't punish her. But what does that mean? I'm trying to not punish her because I do mostly agree with that. You know what I mean? But like, what does that mean? Well, I'm going to go to Thanksgiving with them and pretend we're a big happy family because I don't want to punish her.
I think that you brought a good point up with the holiday and all of that, which as easy it is for me to say, like, you're letting your brother's decision influence your own, and that's kind of your problem, which I still kind of agree with. Also kind of tears the family apart in some respect, right? Because it just, you have family refusing to join for that. But you're not boycotting a relationship by not going. You're boycotting your family. For, let's say everybody else accepts this and finds out that she's just I'm saying
the parents don't like it either.
Right. I'm just saying, like, if it's just her, you know what I mean? Like, let's say the rest of the family ends up like warming up to this woman and accepts this, and she's just the only one, then she's making this decision based off of her own feelings. And, maybe she's got to look inward. It's, agreeing to go to a family function doesn't mean accepting a relationship. And that's.
But on the flip side of that, how do I disagree with something strongly and I disagree, but I'm still coming to Thanksgiving?
Like,
you know what I mean? And also, I want your take on what you just said, but knowing that everybody else is against it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're asking for a lot right now because Jameson and Pinot Grigio...
They can come to the party.
They can come too, but they're like way older than us.
We're consenting adults.
So here,
you know what I mean? They specify that the children don't like it. The children are in therapy and still don't agree. The parents don't like it. Nobody likes this.
And they're going to take action. So
what do we do then?
They're going to take action. They won't come to Thanksgiving. Like, we know that that's what's happening. Although mom seems like, even though she doesn't accept it,
but I'm still hosting.
She's a human being. Yeah. And I think mom's got it right. Just personally.
There's such a blurry line there.
There might be a blurry line, but I think it comes down to...
So what if you had a sibling or a family member that's an active drug addict, right? And they're coming to Thanksgiving, even though you're desperately trying to get this person help, or like, I can't agree to, you being stoned or you being on heroin at our Thanksgiving dinner. You know what I mean?
That's a very heavy example.
I know, but it's similar. It's because it's like, I don't agree, but I'm still coming to Thanksgiving, even though you're going to be there.
On a moral and ethical type of level? I don't know. I can't wrap my head around that example. I think I know what you're trying to say, but I can't wrap my head around that example just because of the nature of it. But I think it might come down to a little bit of human decency. Like, just because, okay, I'm going to go out on a limb too, just like you did. But like, you're out on the street, you're in your car at an intersection and someone's got a sign asking for money. Mm. You don't know what the conditions are. Like, me personally, I don't give money out because if I have cash, it's a fucking miracle.
Amen to that.
Okay. But if I did have the cash and I was just like, I have an extra $1 in my pocket, I actually just have $1 because I found it in the wash. I didn't even know I had it, whatever. whatever. It's an expendable dollar is what I'm getting at.
Right.
And I'm not giving it to him because he's a drug addict. I don't know that. I don't know what his situation is. I don't know.
But you know this situation.
But I'm
and
holding
you know
on.
she's 26.
Well, we don't
and
know.
he's 62.
We don't know her motives, and that's my argument. Is
I know, but
there
we
might
know that
be,
she's 26 years old and he's 62.
Yeah, and we know that he's standing on a street corner.
So that's like the guy standing on the street corner holding a sign that says, "I need $1 for beer." Then you get to make that choice. Well,
I'm thinking he's holding $1. He's holding a sign that says, "I need $1 because my family."
But the example you're giving, we know that. You know what I mean? We know he's a 62-year-old man with a 26-year-old
Right, but if he's holding a sign that says, "I need to feed my family," we know that too. We don't know her motives is what I'm getting at. Is she's a 26-year-old who's attracted to a 62-year-old.
But the issue isn't surrounding her. The parents, they mentioned the parents are questioning her motives.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, she just doesn't agree that he's 62 years old with a 26-year-old woman.
But her question is, should we refuse to accept her into the family?
Right. We're not, should we accept her even though we don't agree with this? So should I give this man $1 even though his sign says he's going to buy alcohol with it?
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
So
good perspective. Thank you.
That's what, we know that this is, I mean, it's legal. She's 26, but it's kind of, it's different.
Okay. So here's my question. What are you going to do?
Well, that was my question, Biff.
Well, I'm actually putting you in this position. You don't agree. I think you very clearly don't agree with it. To me, I've already made my stance on this a million times. My family has huge age gaps between them. My mother and my dad's oldest daughter were the same age when they got together. I have my feelings about it. I personally think there's nothing you can do about it. It's literally your problem. It's not his problem. He's fine with it. It's not his problem.
So the thing for me is, it's not that I'm necessarily against it. She's 26 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When I was younger, I dated older men. My kind of confusion comes in with the children. I'm super close with my nieces and nephews. Yep. So that's kind of where my confusion comes in, is where it's like, I agree with my nieces and nephews that I get that you're mad. Mm-hmm. She's your guys' age.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's, I guess, why I'm where's the line?
Well,
I want to be a decent human to this 26-year-old girl because, like you said, we don't know. She could be genuine. It could be. But I also don't want to be yeah, this is totally fine, even though your kids are her age and they're clearly not okay with this.
Yeah, but you can't take your nieces and nephews' emotions and make them your own. They're not a justification.
No, but I can support them.
That's fodder. You can support them by being there for them.
Right.
Right?
If we don't want to do Thanksgiving as a family because our 62-year-old father and brother is bringing his 26-year-old
then you can say, I understand. But do you boycott because they're not going?
Well,
even though you don't have a problem with it?
Who says they obviously do have a problem with it?
No, what I'm just being devil's advocate here. I'm saying if I'm supporting my nieces and nephews who weren't okay with their dad dating somebody younger. If they were oh, we can't do it. And you're I understand. I'm also not going because I accept it, but because you don't.
Well, if you accept it, that's different.
Well, I think that's hypocrisy.
No,
if you're trying to support your nieces and nephews by understanding, to me, that's putting it on the same.
Support is understanding.
But I think that being on the same level. It's
acknowledgement, it's understanding.
Right. But what I'm saying is,
support them. If you don't agree, then it's different. If you agree and you're just saying, I hear you, I get it. If I was you, I would be upset too. But you personally don't have an issue, right. That's different.
But what I'm saying is your nieces and nephews' feelings should not be a defense for your own. You feel how you feel, and that's it. Well, that's what I'm getting at.
This writer seems like everybody collectively feels the same way.
And that's fine, but...
Which was why I was asking the question, where's the line between, not just boycotting this girl because she's 26 years old without knowing the details versus I don't agree with this.
Well, that's why I was saying you need to figure out what you feel on your own. Well,
they did.
No, hold on. What I'm saying is you need to figure out how you feel on your own and where the line is between human decency and rejection for you.
Well, that's why I was asking.
I don't disagree with this. I don't think that, I think that, actually, let me be more specific. I think this is his business. This is his whatever. This girl might be here 20 minutes. She might be here 20 years. Who knows, right? We don't care. We don't.
Right.
I mean, I don't care. I don't know. Other people care. Other people want to know more. Whatever. I feel like this is a call I'm going to get from my cousin and have 4 hours of a discussion where she's telling me her opinion. But I don't care. Whatever. Other people are going to do their thing. Is this problem his problem because he's dating somebody that he maybe fell in love with and there's a prenup in place? Like, we don't know this detail. I'm just, again, still playing devil's advocate. Right. Like, let's say there's a prenup in place, but she's in love with this guy and he fell in love with her, but you still don't agree and they've been together now for 10 years. Are we punishing the brother still for falling in love and for following his heart? Again, we don't know the situation. Right. But like, it's not his problem. He's clearly been okay with it. He's going with it. Like, you don't accept my wife.
It is his problem.
Yeah, I wouldn't take it as my own.
As a father, it's his problem.
Yes, but I'm talking about the sister who wrote this.
And also, if my whole entire family is kind of falling apart over this, then I should step back and kind of
and that is
reconsider.
The line. Human decency.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree. How do you not support something and still be kind? Like, where's that line? How do you say that I don't agree with this, I don't support this, but I'm still going to be a decent human and I'm still going to love my brother and I'm still going to not be a shitty person to this 26-year-old?
Yeah.
But I don't agree. I don't support this.
Yeah. I think it's who's hosting Thanksgiving. Is it them? Because then you don't have to go. You're supporting them. But if they're not, if mom and dad are hosting Thanksgiving and you're going for mom and dad, then you go for mom and dad. Your decisions should not be based one way or the other off of somebody else. If you don't support her or whatever and you don't want to acknowledge her, then that decision is yours and yours alone. It should not be based off of your nieces, your nephews, your mom, your dad. It should be off of you.
Well, that's why she's writing in.
Well, she's asking for the whole family. She's like, should we accept her into the family?
But I think that's only because like we are all in agreement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's more just like what do we do? Like, we all don't agree with this.
Well, then you need to decide if you're punishing him and teaching him a lesson or if you're just doing it because you don't agree. And what do you want your relationship to be with your brother after this? What do you want your brother to have this relationship with everybody? Let him handle his situation with his kids. If somebody else butted into my relationship with my kids, I tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an aunt and I will butt in.
Well, yes.
But I agree.
Yes, but that always works out fantastically.
Right. But I'm just saying I'm still going to be in there.
Right.
I think there is something to say, though, that he's leaving her in the car. Like, he's
I do
aware.
agree with that.
He's aware on some level.
There's some sort of feeling
whether he's
there.
saying, like, oh, I don't want dad to get
and
upset.
My parents didn't know until...
I know mom and dad don't like it, so I just wanted to avoid conflict and left her in the car. Like, no, that's deeper than that. You're aware that there's an issue here.
I think you and I can agree on this, is this relationship is doomed. Specifically or simply based on that, where he's already got doubts and he's leaving her in the car. Yeah. Like, we know this relationship isn't going to work out. So I don't know why you wrote in.
And also, I don't know what girl is sitting in the car just like, okay, honey, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No. We can agree there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you that there is something underlying way beyond
with him, right?
Way beyond the family.
Of even what we're concerned with.
Right. Yeah. He's feeling some sort of way about it too.
Clearly.
He might just maybe there's a 0.1% where he's like, I just don't want to deal with this.
I know,
but the 0.9% is like,
you don't do that to your
or the 99.9
or significant. Are they married?
No.
Okay.
No, they've been dating for 2 years and they're just finding out.
And
so
you're
he's
still
got a
leaving her in the
feeling
car?
for 2 years.
Okay.
We forgot about
knows.
that part.
I didn't catch that part.
Yeah.
That they've been together for 2 years and they just found out.
Yeah.
No.
But he has a history of dating very young women.
And it says that the kids are in therapy.
For 2 years. Or we've known about her the kids have known about her for 2 years. Her brother just announced that he's been in a long-term relationship with a 26-year-old woman. So he's just now coming clean.
Okay. Well, there's your sign.
There's your sign. Well, for her, run. But for the family?
No, I mean, there's your sign that even he is not in support of his own relationship.
Yeah, that
you know
hurts.
what I mean?
Yeah, we should have gone there first.
So,
But yeah, I personally don't have an issue with such an age difference because it exists in my family. I was born with it, so I was conditioned for it, I feel like. So I don't have an issue with that.
I just think 62 is a little bit excessive for a 26-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, that's more than double your age.
Yeah. That's like actually grandfather.
That's a lot. But I mean, you know me, I'm like, benefit of the doubt. Maybe they are in love. And I'm like, I'm a sucker for love.
You're a romantic.
I'm a romantic.
I'm curious of the answer.
Yeah, let's go for it. Dear No Fun, it is illuminating that as rude as your brother was to keep his partner waiting in the car, your mother was both polite and kind enough to find and greet her with a hug. No wonder your mother is suspicious of this young woman's motives. Only someone with a powerful ulterior motive or very low self-esteem would put up with that level of rudeness from a long-term partner. Yet I suggest that you should behave as your mother did. Behave in a way that is polite and kind. Do not pass judgment. Do not form alliances. Do not banish this younger partner in order to punish your brother.
Okay.
I did not read this. I swear to God. None of you need to, quote, do, end quote, anything or handle anything. You don't need to understand your brother's behavior or his girlfriend's. So yes, I guess I am saying that you should accept your brother's partner and pretend it's not creepy. And that's it.
Okay. Well, I still have a question. How do you not agree with something and still be supportive?
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a really good question because I don't know how I would.
Like,
how would you?
I don't know. That's why I was asking. Like, I don't agree with this. So do I still show up for Thanksgiving? Because that's essentially, I'm okay with this. I'm still coming to all the family functions. But I also don't disagree with that part either.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it this. I wouldn't call it admission.
So it's like you can't not support this and still be supportive. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm still coming to Thanksgiving, even though I don't agree with this. It's like, well, then I don't care if you don't agree with this because I'll see you at Thanksgiving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like...
Well, are you supposed to care that someone doesn't agree with it?
Not from him. I'm just saying when her asking, like, do we accept her? Do we not? Like, do I support this? Do I not? Like, I don't support this. I still love you guys as human beings, but I don't agree or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Fuck this question.
Yeah, fuck this question.
This is a great discussion, though.
Let's see if we can get through our next one quickly.
Okay, let's try.
Because this one has a really good title, and now I wish we did it first. This one's Annie, also from NJ.com. Dear Annie, I plan to tell my emotionally abusive husband to leave. Then he was hurt in an accident.
Oh, karma.
Yeah, literally the first thing that went through my mind. And you better walk. It's like those action movies where they like give up the middle finger, but they're walking away from the scene of the crime and then it explodes.
Yeah.
Keep walking.
Yeah.
Dear Annie, I've been married for almost 12 years to a man who is emotionally abusive. I had made up my mind to tell him to leave, but then he was suddenly injured in a car accident. I am his caregiver while he recovers, but he's facing 2 more surgeries. I will not ask him to leave in this condition, yet I am miserably unhappy. He screams and yells at the slightest thing. If he drops or misplaces something, he shrieks and curses. Same. He talks to me in a nasty tone of voice and yells at me when I ask him to stop. He screams at me that I'm abusive for saying he is. We have very little income from Social Security, not enough for me to live without taking a job. I'm 72.
Oh.
And don't have a decent car, and public transportation is not good here. It's a half-mile walk to a bus stop. I have no savings. What job could I possibly get at this age? He makes even less. He cannot live on that income or find a place to live because he has so little money coming in. He tells me, I don't want to yell at you, but... And then explains why it's my fault. The more I read this, the more pissed off I'm getting.
I know.
He says he's in pain and that's why he screams at me. But this started way before that accident. That's why I wanted to end things. After 10 years, I was done with trying to make him treat me with respect. I feel trapped and desperate. He can't see a psychiatrist or counselor while he's facing surgery. I don't know what to do and I don't know where to start. Feeling trapped.
I thought this was going to be more tricky. Like, the guy just got into a car accident and he's stuck in bed and run. Leave. You're only staying because of the conditioning that went on during the emotional abuse for 12 years, if not longer.
Yeah, the conscious, the self-conscious, the actual conscience that you have is justifying him staying.
Yes.
You're looking for a reason for him to stay, to keep him.
Now you feel bad. You can't leave him like this. He just got into a car accident.
He can figure it out.
He can fucking
just like you figure out your emotions after he belittles you. Or here's an alternative. Say, we're done. Once everything's all set, I will take care of you up until this point. You gotta fucking go.
No,
or I gotta fucking
you do
go.
not stay another day. If you're miserable in being abused in any way, shape, or form, you do not stay. If you're ready to leave, you fucking leave.
Yeah,
You do not stay.
I was
another
appealing
day.
to her conscience.
Well, her conscience has been conditioned and abused for 12 years.
Good point.
Which is why she's torn.
Okay.
A person who hasn't been emotionally or verbally or physically or mentally abused for years is not going to use something like a car accident to now let me stay.
Yeah, that's all so valid. I expected this to be like
more
very
like,
drawn
oh my God,
out.
You can't leave.
Yeah.
Like,
No, but
I'm still being abusive in the process of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't want to yell at you, but
But
you made me do this.
Exactly.
Fuck this shit.
Exactly.
You know, I was appealing to the conscience in the respect of not the relationship, but you know, I hate to bring this up again, but human decency, where it's just like, you know, I get it. Like, he's got nobody else.
Because where's the human decency while you're trying to take care of him and he's still being abusive?
And what you said, it really like flipped the script with me, where it was just like, oh yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Because you're still being abused in the process. It doesn't matter that.
Right.
And even if you tell him like, you can stay here until blah, 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 get out. That's like making some sort of a condition to change your own mind or whatever it might be.
I mean, I'm super biased on this topic, but also I did also agree that it was going to be like a little bit more tricky.
Yeah.
But if he's still fucking abusing you,
get the fuck out.
Oh my God. Then what is your question?
Break his leg again.
Like what? Yes.
Break his fucking...
Blame it on the car accident.
Better yet, put him in the wheelchair and he didn't know he was that close to the stairs.
Heave ho. I agree.
Actually, don't do that. We're not recommending you kill him or try to.
We may not.
We may not.
We may.
We may not. I repeat, we may not. But
also,
you know, just he can fend for himself. See you later. Yes. And you know what? Maybe you can leave. If you're worried about where he's going to go, let him figure it out, but maybe you can leave.
No, because she's 72 years old.
What I'm saying is like
wheel
neither
his
of them
out to the sidewalk.
Neither of them can afford.
So he doesn't accidentally wheel into the middle of the street while a truck's coming.
Well, there are legal implications there. This is where I'm coming from. But like also because you are, you know, worried about maybe this will help soothe your conscience. Like you're still leaving, but you're like, hey, you can stay. I'm out. See you later. I don't know what the circumstances are, obviously. Mm-hmm. But like maybe that's a way to just be like, hey, I'm not putting you out of your place while you're not feeling this good, but like I'm not taking care of you. So like call 911 if you can't pee through your catheter.
Yeah, I guess I can get behind that a little bit.
Just to make her feel better. I don't know that I necessarily agree with my own advice.
Well,
but.
yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. And that may actually be more helpful for her in the position she's in. For her, she hasn't gotten out of this yet, so she can't quite see clearly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess I can get behind you saying that might be a little bit more helpful for her in the sense of like her guilt and her...
Right.
Yeah. But what's the specific question?
She just doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
She feels trapped.
Yeah, don't be trapped. And don't let him use a fucking car accident to keep you hanging on.
Yeah. You're not a fucking fish on a hook.
My heart.
I know, 72. Can you believe?
12 years?
Your entire retirement, your entire happy place. Just fucking bullshit.
Ugh.
Fuck that, man. You know what? Go catch something.
My heart.
Go be a slut. And why do they say slut? I don't want to shame anyone. Go and explore sexually. Go catch whatever 72-year-olds catch.
Nursing homes.
No, go catch a nursing home. let's get to the response on this
Yeah.
one. Dear Trapped, don't know what to do? Sounds like you did know what to do when you were going to leave him, and then he had a car accident and it put a wrench in your plan. Well, I'm so sorry that you are both having to go through what sounds like a very difficult time. There is help available. No one should ever be allowed to emotionally abuse you. Being miserably unhappy is no way to live your life. Just because he has surgery scheduled does not mean he can't seek the help of a professional online. He could also join an anger management class online to help him deal with his emotional outbursts directed at you. Saying that it is your fault that he yells at you is like saying to a child, quote, I hit you because it was your fault for eating the candy, end quote. This is never an excuse for abuse, either verbal or physical. Ask his doctors if Medicare might cover some of his in-home care. If you're planning to leave, then leave. This type of behavior is typical of a narcissist. Just look at the letter below to know that you are not alone.
I didn't love it.
You didn't love that response?
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it because it said what you said. If you're planning to leave, then leave.
I know, but also the letter felt more like I want to leave, but my guilt and my trauma and all this stuff is stopping me. Therefore, I need somebody to just justify or validate.
Right.
Like, it's okay to leave even if he's hurt.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I agree with everything. I don't disagree with the answer or anything. I just felt like there could have been a little bit more of it's okay if you leave. Not just well, if you want to leave, you can.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all that I didn't love, was that I felt like it could have been a little bit more it's okay if you leave.
I see what
You know
you're
what I mean?
saying. Yeah, I don't know why I think I got that. I think if you were planning to leave, then leave, to me was just go.
Yeah.
I
guess
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
We needed to be.
It wasn't explicit,
right?
To me, it was implicit. To you, it wasn't explicit. It wasn't. The words weren't there. Fuck that. Bitch.
You're not literally
Run.
telling me that it's okay if I leave.
Right. Yeah. Good point, Biff. You schooled today.
You did too.
I don't know.
That one question, I was just
the amount of times we had to rewind for me to remember what I was talking about.
We still got through it.
We did. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that last one kind of, I don't wish that the situation was worse, but I wish the question were better.
I know.
But this is what happens. This is casualties of ill-advised. Send us your questions, comments, and all your concerns.
Yeah.
Yeah. illadvisedthepodcast@gmail.com or visit us online at illadvisedthepodcast.com.
Also, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
But you can't find us on Twitter. Maybe TikTok.
I don't use TikTok or Twitter.
I don't know why you said Twitter.
Because to me, it's the same as TikTok.
We agreed no Twitter, damn it.
We ain't tweeting over here.
We ain't tweeting nobody.
Okay, find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at illadvisedthepodcast.
You're beautiful. You're wonderful. Everything about you is magnificent.
Leave him.
Leave him. And thank you for listening.
You've been ill-advised.